One of the best-known legal scholars in the country is weighing in tonight after Baltimore police officer Edward Nero, accused in the death of Freddie Gray, was acquitted on all charges yesterday. But Professor Alan Dershowitz is less focused on the verdict than he is on the prosecutor, Marilyn Mosby, the woman whose office has been pursuing these officers. Alan Dershowitz is a Harvard law professor and author of Taking the Stand, My Life in the Law. Great to see you, Professor.
Thank you.
You say this is serious misconduct by this young woman, by this prosecutor. Why?
Well, overcharging. She charged one of the officers with murder, too, based on depraved heart. These are officers who, may have made a mistake, but they are not guilty of criminal conduct. What she tried to do is stop the mob. I understand that, but you don't use the criminal justice system to solve racial problems. And she's a symptom of a larger problem. Black Lives Matter is endangering the fairness of our legal system because they're rooting for outcomes based on race. Started a long time ago. Started with the O.J. Simpson case when
you know a thing or two about this.
African Americans wanted an acquittal without regard to the evidence. Now many want convictions without regard to the evidence. We cannot allow our justice system to be turned into a kind of racial categorization where people root for outcomes. We're
seeing that here in some of the reporting today about this case. They mention the race of Officer Nero, white, the race of Freddie Gray, black, and they fail to mention the race of the judge who tried the case, who is African American.
Or the lawyer for the family, who is African American, who said the judge came to the right conclusion.
That's right.
Even though his client's was killed.
But we had a guy on the show last night who didn't want to listen to anything about, and I kept asking him, what did Officer Nero do? Tell me specifically what he did. And all he kept saying, and a lot of the media today was saying, this is basically, the standards need to be changed so we can make it easier to get these cops.
Well, you can't change proof beyond a reasonable doubt. You can't change better 10 guilty go free than 1 innocent be wrongly confined. That's what America is all about. And we cannot allow racial differences, which are serious, racial problems which are serious, to distort our criminal justice system.
Could you go after Marilyn Mosby for malicious prosecution?
I think this is politically motivated prosecution. I think the voters have to go after her, and I think the voters will, because she oversold the case, and everybody's disappointed. The black community is disappointed because she didn't get results, and she probably won't get results. Many in the white community are disappointed because she overcharged police officers who were doing their duty. But this goes beyond Baltimore.
Told the community, this is your moment. This is your moment. No, it's not your moment. It is not. I have to ask you while I have you here. On my special last week on Fox Broadcast, I interviewed Robert Shapiro, speaking out for the first time in 20 years about the O.J. case, on which you were part of the
Great
dream team.
interview. That was a great interview.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And he talked about trying on the bloody glove, the dream team and himself, the day before we saw O.J. do it in court. Watch.
I tried the glove on. It was a little bit wide in my palm and a little bit long in my fingers. O.J. Simpson has enormous hands, and I knew that that glove would not fit him.
Really?
Wouldn't even be close.
Did you feel in that moment when you put your hand in the glove that you were trying on the glove of the person who murdered these two people?
As you say it now, it is chilling. But I was looking for one thing and one thing only, the size of that glove.
I was there also. When the glove was tried on, I went back with O.J. and remember he had tried it on with some protective, and he tried it on afterward without the protective, and it didn't fit. But to show you how bad the prosecution was, under California law, they could have made O.J. Simpson try it on outside of the presence of the jury before they made the decision to have him try it on in front of the jury. And they were so arrogant, they didn't do it. I was sitting right next to O.J. He walked up to the jury, and he said, it doesn't fit. And that meant he didn't have to testify and be cross-examined because he had testified to that jury in that one moment.
So it was a stunning thing to listen to, and just to ask him whether he thought he had tried on the glove of a murderer.
It is chilling. Right? It is chilling. You know, you never know. If you're a defense attorney, you just never know for sure. You have your opinions, but you never know for sure.
Professor, great to see you.
Likewise.
Thank you, sir.